Hello aspirants, welcome to Ekam IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about key cabinet decisions taken in the recent cabinet meeting. Almost they have taken 10 important decisions, and every cabinet decision is equally important for your examination. In this context, let us see into the 10 cabinet decisions taken by the Union Cabinet, and different sectors are covered under it like agriculture, space, biotechnology, science and technology, etc., including some aspects related to polity. So let us discuss in a brief and informative way. So first thing, we had an important announcement regarding TGPSC Group 1 Prelims cum Mains Foundation batch, which is about to start from 23rd September. Those who are interested to appear for the next notification in Telangana Group 1, so this is a very good opportunity for you. And this particular course has a duration of 7 months, including 2 years validity. So this particular course also includes mentorship, test series, as well as study material and current affairs material also will be included as part of this course. So this course will be available on online as well as offline modes in bilingual mode. At the same time, you also have the list of faculty who are dealing with which particular subject is clearly mentioned. So for any further details, you can contact us on the number displayed here also, right? So first thing, let us start with the cabinet decisions. We have 10 key cabinet decisions taken. So first thing is they have given approval for identifying the feasibility of implementation of one nation, one election. You know, the present cabinet or the present government has taken this as a prestigious manifesto scheme also, where they wanted to implement this one nation, one election. That means simultaneous elections to both Lok Sabha and state assemblies. And then within a period of 100 days almost, the elections to the local bodies also will be conducted. So why? Because there should not be any disruption in the governance. So in this regard also, there is some approval that was given by the Union Cabinet. So let us understand, this will be conducted in 2 phases. In the first phase, there will be simultaneous elections to Lok Sabha and Assembly. In the second phase, there will be simultaneous elections to Panchayats and the municipalities, local bodies. So these are the 2 things which you have to understand within 100 days of span. Then common electoral roll. So as of now, you know, Election Commission of India at the national level will be conducting elections to Parliament as state assemblies also. But we also have a separate state election commission which will generally conduct elections to panchayats and municipalities. So they have their own electoral role. But now, as part of this proposal, they are going to have a single electoral roll or single electoral identity card, which will be covering both the Lok Sabha elections and the state assembly elections and the local body elections. So single electoral roll. At the same time, they also will include many other discussions how to ensure, because you know, like when we are going for simultaneous elections, we need to take care about certain federal disputes, and at the same time we need to have some constitutional amendments. So how to go on smooth with respect to this aspect also will be covered. At the same time, they'll also find out an implementation group to have proper feasible mechanism to implement this particular scheme. And then coming to space technology, we have 4 major developments here. So they have given approval for Chandrayaan-4 mission. We already have conducted 3 experiments on moon, and this is going to be the 4th prestigious project of ISRO. So now, as part of this mission, we are going to send certain lander and rover, where they will be conducting some experiments in situ. At the same time, they will be sending some samples back to the earth. So sample entry is the main thing which we have to understand. At the same time, they are also sending some mans also. You can see here, we are also planning manned missions to the moon. That means a human from India will be landing on the moon for the first time in case of this Chandrayaan-4. So these are the 2 main things which we have to understand. And to know more about Chandrayaan-4, watch the previous video also available in the same YouTube channel. At the same time, then we also have given approval for Venus mission or Shukrayaan mission. So as part of this, we need to understand India till now, as part of its extraplanetary missions, only have covered Mars through Mangalyaan. So this is going to be the very first mission to Venus with the name Shukrayaan-1. So what is this mission? It consists of an orbiter, where this orbiter will be orbiting around the Venus surface, and it will understand what is there on the surface of the Venus, what is the geological composition, what is the atmosphere on the Venus, etc. So Earth's twin, we generally call it as the Venus, right? So that is the reason Venus is very much important for our understanding in the space explorations. At the same time, you can also see there is extended Gaganyaan mission also. So as part of human manned mission in space, India is taking this Gaganyaan mission, and we are also conducting one more uncrewed mission. That means without crew, we are conducting another experiment to have this person safely coming back into the Earth's surface. At the same time, we are also trying to build our own space station with the name Bharati Antariksha Station by 2035. At the same time, we are also have given approval for new next generation launch vehicle. So this is very much important. So what is this next generation launch vehicle? This is intended to replace PSLV. This is a 3-stage semi-cryogenic launch vehicle. So we are going to use here refined kerosene as a fuel. At the same time, liquid oxidizer will be used. So this is for low cost. At the same time, we'll be using this next generation launch vehicle for communication satellites, deep space missions also. At the same time, for many other reasons. So this will be replacing PSLV gradually. At the same time, you can also understand this will be helping us in understanding more about and building regarding Bharatiya Antariksha Station also. Then coming to tribal development, we have an important announcement regarding this Pradhan Mantri Janajati Unnat Gram Abhiyan. So this is a very important tribal holistic project of Government of India with an approval of 79,156 crore. As part of this project, they are going to cover 63,000 tribal villages, which covers almost 5 crore plus tribal people. So what are they going to intend under the scheme? They're going to develop the infrastructure. They also wanted to provide good education, skill development, and also to enhance the health facilities in the tribal areas. So these are the main things under Pradhan Mantri Janjati Unnat Gram Abhiyan, right? So model villages concept in tribal areas. Then we also have PM Asha scheme, a very important scheme in agriculture. So you know, like farmers, they will be facing so much of distress sale, or they don't get proper price also sometimes, right? So to tackle all these issues, we have PM Asha scheme with an outlay of 35,000 crore. So what are the main things here? To ensure fair prices to the farmers, fair and remunerative price. At the same time, ensure market stable prices also, right, without any disruption or fall in the prices. At the same time, we'll also protect the farmer from the distress sale. That means even if he doesn't get a better price also, he need not sell in the market. So government will be guaranteeing a certain price in case of distress sale. Suddenly, when there is a huge crop coming from same area, so then the farmer will not be getting good price for it. So then at that point of time, government will be giving some assurance in the form of guaranteed price. So under this distress sale. At the same time, we'll also enhance our production in terms of pulses, oil seeds, etc. Because you know, in pulses and oil seeds, India is not having self-sufficiency. We are still dependent on imports. To reverse this, we are also focusing on pulses and oil seed productivity. At the same time, we are also trying to boost farmers' income. And you know, already we also have targeted to double farmers' income by 2022. And with regard, we also have Ashok Dalwai committee also constituted on doubling of farmers' income. So these are the main decisions taken as part of this PM Asha scheme. Then coming to another initiative with respect to agriculture is they're trying to provide subsidized rates for fertilizers. So in this regard, let us see for the upcoming Rabi season, which is the winter crop season. So they're going to provide nutrient-based subsidy scheme, especially with respect to phosphate and potassium, NPK fertilizers we have, right? So that is going to cover this. So then we also are going to provide subsidized prices with respect to potassium and phosphorus with respect to farmers. At the same time, we are also going to ensure whatever the international price trends are there in these fertilizers, that we are going to convert in the domestic market also. So it is going to provide, because fertilizers is the most important input used by the farmers in increasing their yield. So they need not spend more, as the government will be subsidizing them. Then we also have an important announcement regarding biotechnology by Union Cabinet. So they have announced a scheme called BioRide scheme. Very important. So this is to enhance research and development in biotechnology. So first thing, an outlay of 91,097 crore, and this is going to ensure that bio-entrepreneurship, that means more entrepreneurs are getting encouraged under this particular program in the field of biotechnology. Advanced R&D, research and development, will be promoted. At the same time, industry academia collaboration will be enhanced. and then there also will be sustainable biomanufacturing. So bio means vaccine manufacturing, gene editing, all these things, right? So these things will be enhanced in a sustainable way. At the same time, researchers will also be getting the money through extramural funding. Extramural means not only from the institution, the money can be borrowed or it can be sponsored by outside source also. Then nurturing human resource in the biotech. So human resources like education, skilling, all these things also will be encouraged as part of this program in the biotechnology. Then coming to global content leader. So India wants to aspire a very good position in sports, gaming networks and etc. So in that regard, we are establishing a national center for excellence for animation, visual effects, gaming, comics and extended reality. Already we are using augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality also. Now we are aiming for India's position better in extended reality. So in this particular context, we are going to achieve a creators economy. So where individuals will be enhance their skills and all. So they'll be creating an economy which is through this gaming, visualization and etc. And they'll also enhance this training. At the same time, more R&D also will be encouraged, and to secure good position globally, India is also trying to achieve this through these many schemes. So these are all the 10 key cabinet decisions taken. And now let us see the practice question given yesterday. So which of the following statements regarding NCT Delhi are correct? So first thing, Legislative Assembly of Delhi has the power to make laws on all matters in the state list and concurrent list, including police and public order. So no, generally State Assembly of Delhi doesn't have any power to legislate on law, public order, etc. So this is a wrong option. Then the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi is bound by the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers in all matters. All matters is no, right? So it is wrong because Lieutenant Governor has certain discretion also. Then third, Article 239AA. So of the Constitution provides for special status to Delhi. That is correct. So answer is C, 3 only. Then let us see the practice question given for the day. Which of the following schemes are part of Pradhan Mantri Annadata Aay Sanrakshan Abhiyan? PM Asha we have discussed, no? So which of these are part of it? Price support scheme, price efficiency payment scheme, pilot private procurement as well as stockist scheme, at the same time market intervention scheme. So out of these four, which you feel is the correct answer, try to put your answer in the comment section. Then today we have discussed about the 10 key cabinet decisions taken recently in the Union Cabinet with respect to space technology, agriculture, as well as biotechnology and gaming. So what are the main programs launched as part of this particular thing, including One Nation, One Poll, along with some other prestigious space projects like Chandrayaan 4, Shukrayaan 1, etc. So all these are the things which we have discussed. If you find the video informative, let us know in the comment section. Thanks for joining. See you again.